Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back. This is the APL, which stands for Awesome Premier League, in case you're curious. Round 3 of Night 2, brought to you by Awesome. Myself, Toffees, my second in command, or I guess I want to say my partner in crime, Lil Fuzzy Seal, and of course our eye in the sky giving you a tour of our map right now. That's Skyline. Guys, we got another game for you. We've played 2 tonight. They've both been action-packed thrill fests. Let's see how the third one goes. Lil, what do you got for me?
Well, looks like we got an east to west plane route on this one, and this is going to be really rough because just look at there's so much water under this current plane. It'll be very, very difficult for teams to get where they want to go, especially if that location they want is anywhere essentially north of Pachinki. You're either looking at long drops or players grabbing cars real early, and even then, it's going to be really rough contesting those cars on drop.
Yeah, this is rough. This is very, very rough. We might even see some car violence early on.
Yeah.
I'm not talking car 98. I'm talking good old-fashioned hit and smash, and not envious on envious violence this time around. This is probably going to be the real deal. So get ready for that, boys, because it's going to be breaking down. That said, this could reiterate what we saw on game 1. Remember, all those teams stacking up south of the river. If the circle goes north, it means massive transitions and strategies out the door. That said, if we get a south circle, this could be really cool because everyone's going to be in their positions.
Oh man, just look at this just mix of color all around. A lot of players barely able to get cars. We can see on the map just the scramble for them as we see, like, Tuna Can getting that elected over in the farm, splitting that with the solo player to his south. There is just a lot of very, very chaotic movement going on right now. Hopefully these guys can sort of begin to cut themselves out some swaths of land, but elected, I don't think he saw Dressel land here. He's moving into an occupied compound.
Occupied compounds are the worst kinds of compounds in PUBG, unless it's you that's inside of it. Drassel with the pistol, and now the SKS. Now, SKS, not the gun you think, man, I wish I got one of those as soon as I landed, but I'll tell you what, that thing, if you can super tap your 10 bullets, it will wipe someone out when they're in tier 1 gear. So Drassel in a pretty okay spot against Elected, who's just still sitting on a pistol as far as I can tell. That said, Drassel loves this farm spread. I don't know how many times I've seen it work out well for him.
Yeah, I just Googled. I saw a revolver be picked up. But the thing is, Drassel is leaving that door open. That balcony door is open. Elected, if he spots that, yeah, he does. He sees the door open. He's currently peeking around this corner. He'll be able to get some evidence on where this player has been. And Drassel just moving parallel and just kind of rotating around the same direction as clockwise. But the difference here is that there's a 3v1 going on, and Drassel's not in the 3.
Yeah, so he's got to slow play this. If anything, what you want to do is cost fadeaway enough resources that they say it's just not worth sticking around. So what Drassel will probably do, you take some damage. Actually, I think you got a AK now, is they're going to push him. The hope is if you try to hold, maybe get a knock or two and force them back. So if they're like, it's just not worth trying to kill this guy, that's your only option here. Because honestly, a 4v1, Drassel's good. I just don't know if Drassel's this good. Now, if he proves me wrong, I hope he stops by my stream later. I'll go by his and fervently apologize. But this is going to be a very tall order for any person in this game to come out on top here.
One of those players that are breaching does only have a pistol. One player actually is building right now, if I'm not mistaken, or at least right outside. He's going to be moving on through, but I think he's in the attic!
It took forever. The AK's all over the place. Turns back around, gets the second knock. That's 2, down to 2, reloads, turns the corner, goes for the pre-fire, doesn't get it though. He sprayed right. Thought his opponent would go for a very long peek. It didn't work, but he still took 2 to the ground with him. It just wasn't enough as they'll get the reses. But look at that. Dak Coco and Vape were almost there for the rescue. Coco looks like he has no intentions of leaving. Vengeance is in his mind. And I don't think his opponents know that he's coming.
They're getting pinched as well. Look on that menu, another player coming in from the south. And what? Huh?
What happened?
I like they just gunned someone. Oh, okay.
No.
He finished off the downed enemy. Yeah. I thought he just finished off his teammate. All right, my mistake there. But okay, Dak Coco on the west side has been able to breach into this compound. He's got some 2-2 armor and M4. Whereas last I checked, the players that were here on Fadeaway 3, they did not have much gear, Toffees.
All right. They did not have, and they were forced to fight. That's the danger of that early situation, right? You can't really go looting. You got to collapse. You got to move out of your loot positions. And that allows Vape and Coco to come in and maybe cause a little bit of havoc. There's the peek in the window. Vape opens fire, gets the knock immediately, and that opens up the chance for 14 to come forward. Zentrix in already. Wants to make a play. Him and Dat Coco on the left. Prodigy, though, in the distance with a 4X. M16 maybe have the ability to play spoiler on Vape if he spots him.
This is a little bit too far away, though. We already see Dat Coco and Vape just playing the outside walls. They know Prodigy is there, so they're just keeping walls in between him and them, making this building push work. But Vape gets a lot of damage put onto him. Definitely winning that fight, and Elected looks like he knows it. Holding the bathroom and trying to just find a cheeky angle that maybe Dat Coco or Vape aren't looking at.
Yeah, that's what they're going to hope for. Elected is chosen to hold his ground. Meanwhile, his partner in the other room looks like Dat going to slide around the outside. Vape peeking every window. Going to do a little hop peek here and should be able to see Elected if he executes it. Nope, no hop. So he will slide back around to the other side. Meanwhile, we enter a new window position where I think he's exposed in this corner if he looks around. So Vape really could be our big discovery man as he's doing some very smart usage of the picnic tables here to find his opponents.
This is very smart from these players inside this house. They're actually forcing the aggression, allowing Little Prodigy to assist from his faraway Overwatch position. Vape and Dat Coco, if they push in, they're taking a 2v2 with a defender's advantage on squad 16. If they try to wrap around, then Little Prodigy, they're shooting him in the back. There's really no good way to take this fight for Vape or Dat Coco.
All right, they're waiting for their chance to possibly go in. Still on the outside, A6 holding one corner. Lil Prodigy on the outside playing. Yeah, I like this position. A has a chance to play spoilers on a wraparound like he's about to try here. Just forces them back in the side, so there's no chance for them to sort of run a flank on the house. That said, though, he takes a ton of damage. I think Zentrix just turned around and took him on with that holographic.
Really impressive shots from that range.
Yeah. Not too shabby. So now A6 are in the house. He holds the corner, waiting for them to come around. Bathroom and stairs, both on lockdown. First shooter should probably be out of the bathroom. Vape with the lean. Goes for the peek, checking the bathroom. Doesn't see anybody inside. Does open up. He ends up going down. The push and spray for the second. They come in the back door. He set the trap and it worked. That's 2 down. The third man, the last man standing, seeing what he can do. They finish off the job. So Coco's the last man on the team. He decides to, I think, extract himself. Yep, smart play, decides to go a little bit deeper. His team says, get out. We don't want to finish in 16th place. That stairwell hold was genius. And here's what happened. They pushed the bathroom. They got knocked. Traditionally, the whole team would have pushed the bathroom hard, and they would have expected his backup to come save him in the bathroom. That's why we saw our third player come in, turn the corner and charge, and it just cost them everything, including the ultimate finish as Coco couldn't get away from Prodigy.
Yeah, A6 holding that angle as well. Actually, not assisting with the initial push, just waiting until all the players had pushing from all the angles. He was able to shoot a third player that was pushing in the back. Beautiful play there. That being said, while that's been going on, while they were fighting for their lives, everyone else has been fighting for their place in the new circle. It's on the northeast side of the island again, a pretty similar spot as our previous game, Toppies. And if that's an indicator, it means that you're gonna wanna get a good spot as soon as humanly possible.
Absolutely. So this is a similar circle, like you said, to what we saw last time. Again, the whole north side of the map ignored completely. Not surprised the last time we saw Envious and some other teams take advantage of that, much to their chagrin, as they were unable to make it back into the south when it was unfavored. That 8X AUG, a very popular build for so many people, as it is delivered. I love the AUG. It's the ultimate swap out for the M4. A lot of players love the M4 right now. You roll up on that crate, you get an AUG, easy ammo switch, easy attachment switch, and a gun that shoots like a laser beam.
More of a 249 guy myself, but AUG's definitely one of the best guns in the game.
No, I'll take a 249 over an AUG. That's a
really
personal preference that I stand on. Yeah, I just love the 249.
I've never met anyone who shared my opinion. I feel like kindred spirit in you, Toffee.
It's a lot of fun. I don't know. Maybe it's because my teammates stink and I end up in 1v4s at the end a lot, and having that extra clip is like godsend. But at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. Like everybody pushes you because they're like, "There's no way he's got more than 40 bullets," and you're like, "Ha ha, sucker!"
It's so fun. We're seeing right now, though, once again, split holding coming out from Turtle Squad. Looks like they have a couple of their friends showing up a little bit earlier than previously seen. And all these compounds getting taken much earlier than a previous game. In fact, we see Squad 6 Cloud9 grabbing the game-winning compound, saying this is not going to go empty again. If it ends here, they'll be ready.
Absolutely. They don't know that nobody was there the whole time, right? Because nobody's had a chance to go watch the replays just yet. But again, I think Minifridge was actually hanging out in chat earlier and said, it's amazing the things you see when you go back and watch your replays and go, how in the world was there nobody there? Because that's exactly what happened last game. All of us just assumed, or they did, that someone would be there, which was a logical assumption, but I guess it made an ass out of, well, not you and me, but everyone who wasn't in that compound.
But it's just so hard to get that information, right? Even if you send a motorbike scout out there, if they just don't even get there, then you could just have a player going out scouting and dying for free. So it's just so risky to get that information, and 9 times out of 10, that compound is taken. It's just so rough, but hey, the guys on Render, they were able to just play the odds and get a game-winning spot, at least a 3rd place spot for themselves in the previous game.
Totality with an interesting position that they took right there. I don't know if they're going to, how long they're going to hold it, but that's a spot inside of a deflate. We've seen some teams win out of there, but they built a car fort this early in the game, which I find very, very interesting. Now we'll go to CeeLo Green up in the heaven houses. He's taking a little bit of snipe shots here at the Jeep parked over by the, yep, so there's the tires. It's a long shot, but no longer has you tires if MLGB has to move. And you're going to see that a lot. It's been a huge evolution in the game. Incredibly popular now. Always tried to ruin the ability for these teams to escape. You can see him just going for it right there. A lot of fender shots, but eventually they'll get it just right.
I love how slowly the shots are coming out. You can tell he's really trying to aim this. Meanwhile, Totality trying to punish a little bit more movement. Smurf getting knocked to very low HP. Helmet Red, very low HP. 1 shot, actually. It's not surprised what happened there, and you will get finished off by your boy Dre. I think that was over to the west. Yep, this little compound has been able to finish him off, and they're actually going out for his loot as well. They're hungry for some food. Yeah,
if you're in this compound, remember Tempo was the team. We saw him drop Gatka earlier and have to sort of abandon ship and go elsewhere. Zampa, by the way, did finish that from the distance and sort of do a little bit of trash looting. So they definitely could utilize that loot. I don't know if they're going to take the risk and actually go out for it. So much just wanted to make sure that they got the finish on the kill. Rectify out in the open is, it looks like Filthy going to be doing a bit of scout and run. He tries to make his way to the red houses to join the rest of his team.
Looks like our shrink is just about completed, and this shrink is going to be, oh, actually, as I say that, it looks like Space Station Gaming on the hill to the southwest, trying to get some shots at him. He was able to get inside without even getting scratched, though.
What nice guy, Soltek opening the door for Filthy as he runs into the house. That's politeness. Just because we're here shooting each other doesn't mean we can't be human beings, okay? A little bit of love there shown between teammates as we see a car transition. I like this spot. It's like someone's opening a used car lot. Hilltop used cars.
I was getting flashbacks. Envy is the team that got the roadkill in game 1. I was getting really worried there. But they will be moving soon, though. But the question is, where is that? It looks like a lot of the west was cut out and a lot of the water was cut out, thank goodness. So we're essentially just going to be getting more of the same. If you were in a compound in Circle 1, chances are you're really, really liking your spot in the Circle 2.
Absolutely. So we got EU taking some good shots back and forth. Totality in a bit of a tough spot as they find themselves spread between the compound and a shack, interestingly enough. Purdy very apart from the rest of his crew. SSG happy on the south of prison. Does have to think about the next transition. Cloud9 super satisfied with where they are right now. Purdy healing himself up as he's stuck behind the buggy with no helmet left at this point.
There's a story here as well. We saw Crossbones in the southeast. On the bottom left, we saw that there's only 3 squad mates, and the buggy is such an easy vehicle if you're in the backseat to get shot out of. Definitely lost a teammate here on this move, and he's going to have a very hard time leaving this area. But a couple of other guys taking the mansion area this time. This is getting taken much earlier than our previous game. Actually, neighbors taking the 2 little buildings on the south side of mansion. These are very good spots to be grabbing at this point in the game.
They're nice houses, but not a neighborhood I'd want to live in if these are the neighbors who are hanging out outside. SSG brings in the rest of their team. Gunner playing scout. The rest of them roll inside, and those neighbors will not only shoot each other, but have a great shot position over anybody coming from the south through that open field. United inside the Alamo, taking a couple of good shots. A little bit of return there as Geese is out of helmet and just has to sort of get himself healed back up. Gonna hide inside the window. I think he took shots from 10 up in there. I think Tunican from heaven was able to take it. But the delivery, the sweet, sweet delivery from the PUBG gods coming right down on United. Gonna be an MK14.
That's okay.
A little bit of ammo. It's okay.
Comes with the cheek pad.
Yeah, I guess so. It's all right. It's like an automatic SKS.
Yeah, it can one-shot level 1 helmets too. It's pretty nice. But ooh, actually, we saw in game 1 some sick motorbike tricks. Now we're trying to see some just outdoor driving. The UAZ doing what it was made to do. It looks like Elected has been able to make it in here. He's pretty safe right now, and if the circle keeps doing what it's doing, he'll be able to stay there for quite a while.
So he'll go into the forest like the trolls before him and just wait for his chance to go deeper, see where the circle ends up. We might get a forest circle again. It'd be a lot of fun to see that happen. Meanwhile, 11 going to be doing the buzz by on Heaven as they move towards the mansion. They'll start to take some shots here, and they're also moving into that house that's occupied by SSG. It's going to be a rough afternoon for these guys. They're coming right in. Didn't get the knock. He does get the knock on the run over. Makes it 2. SSG does get the return, and Pentalol just keeps going. As hell no. I'm out of here.
How many people just got hit right there? That was hilarious play right there. The problem with that, though, is that they got the place they were trying to go to is occupied. Pentalol has very few options. Hiding behind a tree in the middle of a field at this stage of the game with 2 players alive on your team, that transition did not go well. The guys over on Duel.
They chose the wrong house. That house was not the one that they wanted to try to take over. The squatters there were well armed, and they managed to get a knock for their trouble, but they lost most of their team. Speaking of which, United shooting back and forth. They're dealing with a lot of players on both sides. They send Tony V out for the loot. He's going to run back in he's literally getting fired at from all sides. I'd love to hear Tony V's opinion on was it worth going for that box.
Yeah, he didn't get shot, but he did grab it. You know, sniper rifle's a sniper rifle when it really comes down to it. He's probably going to be, hopefully, popping some heads with that later on. That being said, second shrink is finishing up. A lot of our squads that are still finding themselves on the edge are making their way in. And this third circle, Toppies, is when things are going to get very violent, especially if we stray away from this mansion area.
So we're going to see what's going to happen. If these teams have to move out of the mansion area north, that could be a lot of trouble for the teams who are so well entrenched here as everybody's sort of splitting up these neighborhoods. C9 still in a very happy spot up on that hill. They've spread out to cover the low houses as well as the red houses. That said, it looks like Penta is going to try to push into the valley homes, see if he can find a little shack to call his own as he runs through smoke screen after smoke screen. He threw them out very effectively, one after another, to hide his approach. He doesn't realize there's nobody here, but if there was, they'd be very confused by that smoke.
Yeah, this is going to be in the next circle as well. He will be pretty happy with camping this for now, but ooh, that's ugly. That's a lot of open ground right there. Essentially, E United in a great spot. The rest of the game, rest of the server, not so much.
All right, so let's see the transition. C9 already up and running. Goes right past the valley houses. Pentalol just tucks in and says, please keep going, and lets them drive on by. C9's way is not to take the edge, so they'll push straight towards the middle. They go right across the valley, and Totality gets to shoot at them and do whatever they want. They do. Frolicker has to jump out. That's a double. Totality turns back around. Taro taking some damage now as the partners have parked. Frex in some trouble as he's out in the middle of the field. This could be the end of C9 and Totality as they're taking a ton of damage from E United inside of the Alamo.
Big
Totality! Oh, that was a great frag. And Moody going to try to get over there to pick up Solid, hoping he doesn't take any more shots from the Alamo. He needs to try and save his team. They did eliminate Totality, but at what cost?
Yeah, that was a hugely bloody fight. Hopefully they'll be able to just take that position, claim it as their own, but they're not going to be moving anytime soon with only 2 players left. Meanwhile, on the northwest side, looks like Zanpa and the rest of the guys on Tempo Storm will be more than happy to sit here in this compound in the white. They do not want to experience what we just saw happen on your screen.
Oh, I thought Penta was going to come out and try to make a play. He did actually got Bin Long knocked down, so it hasn't... He's going to go down. Penta right back into his little corner there in the valley. Not interested in coming back out, but he ended up getting a kill for his trouble. Meanwhile, we see a lot of teams trying to make these outside rotations. Dash 32 doing it. He's actually split up from the rest of his team. They're on the far right by Lepovka, so they must be trying to converge on maybe the watchtower south of prison. That's all I can think of.
Toughies, we're seeing a bit of what we saw in the previous game. The warehouse and the compound to the southwest of that is empty. There's the only 2 compounds that are left near the center, and no one's even wrapped around to take them. There's relatively clear routes you could take as well.
Ooh, rectify.
Oh, these guys are going to be kicking themselves when they watch the VODs.
But again, it's one of those things. Everybody goes circle, and then you sort of have to plan, am I north or am I south? Envious made the right choice. Everyone else trying to make that adjustment. Zanpa taking some nice shots here. Again, Tempo very happy in their position here for the moment. They'll wait to see what the next circle is. They haven't had a lot of conflict over here, so they've got their bikes parked inside, and they're ready to go Sons of Anarchy style when the time is right.
Will be quite soon. The mansion area in particular, look how many colors are up there. So many squads just in and around that mansion. I think 4 up there. When they finally have to move, that is going to be very chaotic if no one takes the initiative to go out and clear that out, but that's just so dangerous to do at this stage in the game.
Yeah, mentioned a very diverse neighborhood, but not one that you want to get stuck in during the transition phase, and that's what's going to happen right now. We see the first car transition, or bike transition, very fast. D-Master keeping that top speed going, even on the trike. It's a trike bike, but the trike bike's still fast if you know how to drive it right, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to drive it right into the newly revived C9, and they will turn and just open fire, turn the bike, try to get away, and Moody decides to just let them go as he licks his wounds. Nice cheetah bandana, by the way.
Yeah, very sexy looking items right there. It looks like that wait, are they coming back? Wait, they're coming back. They actually want to take this fight. They're actually making their way into this small shack, able to get inside, not taking their fight. They're doing the exact opposite. But look at that Pentalol from that little yellow to the northeast. We'll be able to get one down, but will that frag make not a bounce? Unless it bounces through the window.
It's a smoke for push. So he's going to smoke ahead, probably try to push in on them using that, so you can't peek out the door. It was actually a really clean smoke. They locked up the door. There's no way to peek out of it. They can either push him or they can just leave him be. Pentalol playing, for what it's worth, playing quite the protector for C9 in this game, as there's two teams that he's hurt dramatically as they've tried to get around behind them.
New zone has popped. It's going to be favoring the south side near the prison and the shelter area. Once again, a lot of dead ground in the majority of the center of the circle. Teams will be scrambling for whatever small positions there are of tactical importance. And the rest will probably die in transition, Talkies.
E United is just happy as clams there. The Alamo, a great spot, still inside the circle. They can keep holding it. Meanwhile, Vexel not happy as a clam as he clams up and tries to stay under cover. Tunican getting some nice shots. Vexel is knocked, hiding out behind. And we're going to see Shraded try to get in there and take the kill away from the uphill team who got it originally as he's down. Now we see the push by Pistola time, sneaking in behind Space Station.
I think that Elected has spotted one of these players out, though. He's on the north side. I think it's a solo versus solo, actually. They're just tree on tree. Elected not winning that little peek right there. Cayman doing what he has got the M4. Actually, getting in the buggy to actually get a little bit better position. He knows that Elected's healing. He's pushing up very slowly. Hits
the rock, hits the tree, the peak, goes for the headshot, gets it. Nicely lined up. Perfect crosshair placement for Key as he slowly makes his way in. Meanwhile, the God Squad is in the garage house, and they decide to take some shots. Space Station Gaming, the first team to move, gets in their buggies and hauls away. Cloud9 going to take some shots, takes out the tires. Gunner goes boom, but he gets out of it, Michael Bay style, but does take the hit as he tries to clear out of the wreckage.
Can't believe he didn't die in the initial explosion, but it looks like he was just...
There were flames surrounding him. Like, I'm going to get that replay and zoom in on it because it looked awesome as he ran out of the fireball.
Ooh, God Squad actually dismounting out to the circle. There's a squad right in front of them. They've spotted him out. Just making sure Sharpshot doesn't get run over by his teammates. Squad 10, those guys are Ignite. They're just all hiding in their little rocket and smoke cloud. But ooh, a big frag. This could eliminate everyone.
That's a good nade. It does hit Kickstart, hurt him a little bit. They throw out the Molotov as well. Tunican and CeeLo down as they're getting picked up by Mossy inside of a smoke cloud, inside of a fire. So lots of damage going out there. Meanwhile, Ether United playing Gatekeeper, keeping everybody locked out of their zone as we've got 4 teams fighting using trees and cars for makeshift fortress cover.
Oh, look at this, though. This little dip still being in use. They're just looking to their northwest saying, okay, there's a squad fight going on. Let's see if we can ruin someone's day. They've been doing a pretty good job of that so far. But with only 2 players left, they'll have to be very careful. Oh, look at that. Another frag from Ashton will detonate a car. It's in a chain reaction, getting another set of downs.
Absolutely. So well played. K-Mine still hiding out inside the smoke, moving in. That's our solo that we saw that great headshot from a little bit earlier as he tries to represent his team and last as long as he possibly can. Big run right into the nightmarish grouping of Sharpshot and his boys, Pistola Time and the rest of the goons, waiting for him to walk in there.
Oh, goodness. As soon as that smoke fades, Cayman, what's your plan, buddy? He's in the edge of the white, but this does not last forever. Oh, there's a buggy.
I don't even know how he found that.
Yeah.
he found this gift. He found this gift. Gets right inside the circle and is able to hide behind it. He won't even stand up. 12 has no idea he's there. The God Squad is literally just shooting out everyone they can, has no idea that they're being flanked. He can wait till the circle establishes and just take all of them out when the time is right. They're still looking for him, but they don't know, I think, that he's behind that.
New zone popping once again, favoring Prison a little bit more. But on the southeast side, we do see Space Station Gaming below these rocks. Actually, have they dropped down completely to Prison? Straight at hiding in the smallest nook I have ever seen. This was literally made for him for this one day in particular.
Yeah, it's a bear cave. Not a lot of people know about. Kind of fun if you're ever trying to lock up people getting out of lumber camp, and Kratos, that's what they're going to do. So Rectify is going to move forward. There's already the knock on cover, so Schrader will hold here because he knows that Soko's and Filthy are going to have to pass in front of him to get to their opponent. So he does have a full peek out of the hole, will open fire, doesn't get the kill right away, just opens himself up. Because once you miss that shot, every bullet that enters that little hole is going to take you out.
I wonder what happens if Schrader just doesn't fire there, right? Because obviously Rectify didn't know that hole even existed, but they certainly do now after having a little bit of a trauma, a little bit of heart racing from that one.
Speaking of trauma, CeeLo gets knocked. He tries to come around the back of the car. Kickstart getting flanked. Pistola and Pat Caps on the hard push. CeeLo not going to be picked up on this one. Exploding car, end of him. Yeah. Kickstart trying to hold 12. Wants to move outside the circle. They're running with the line. Pistola time. Has to make the hard push. Sees Kickstarter stand up. Opens fire. Hurt him pretty bad. 1 or 2 ticks will do the job. Pistola time in his team from the God Squad. Going to push towards C9. Solid FPS. Trying to hold him in position. Him and Moody have a tall order, but they've got a nice fort. Car's taking damage. Solid goes down. Moody the last man going for the heel. Solid undercover, but not enough. Pistola and Caps can see him through the hole. Solid and Moody go for the res. That could allow them to help with the push. Sharpshot actually went down from another team at that time.
United actually spotting them out from the southwest, forcing them to get in whatever cars they can find and just go. Pat Caps at one shot, taking this little sidecar across this wide open field, still somehow alive, making it to cover. How did he just do that?
Magic Pat Caps is magic as he manages to get to the middle of the circle. Firefights everywhere. Geese trying to get himself out of the inside, sees the car, stopping on the crate, using the crate for cover, but the car rolled away. That was my fort. Now Solid has to stay behind it, but it's too fast. Solid goes down. The guy gets the kill, and Solid dies chasing the car. Who forgot the e-brake? My grandma did that once and got sued for hitting the neighbor's fence. What's happening, Cloud9?
How does E United hit those shots without laughing out loud? That is one of the silliest things I've seen this game. Cloud9, they only have
He took the tire and accelerated. It went faster.
It happens a lot. It's so silly. That happens a lot. It'll actually move cars if you blow tires out sometimes. It's so silly. But
hashtag hijinks. That was crazy.
At this stage of the game, a lot of players have had to move out of their compounds. E United have been holding the Alamo for literally the entire game, and now they're moving out. They have their first journey out into the open. And with 7 kills, I say they're having a pretty good time of it, Toffees.
Yeah, it's a big step for every young Cub as they make their journey out into the open for the first time. Here we see E United's Tony V emerging from the cocoon, finding all that is the world around him. He's going to run to Pat Caps first, followed by Moody to his left. Does grab out his spray gun and is prepared for where he believes Caps is, though he's not exactly sure where this man's sitting. Caps should be able to hear him.
Oh, his feet are sticking out behind the rock.
He's got a car out, though. He's not hoping for the snipe. There he is. He's now readjusting, but he's still holding the car in his hands.
I think that Pat Caps just realized that if he gets spotted, he's dead anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. He's going to sit there, not switch the guns, just wait and hope. EU keeps pushing forward. Moody going to play spoiler. Inside, we've got Bondo. It looks like Team 9 locked up inside of a pretty good position.
Render again.
Yeah,
a great spot in the end game.
They like that long rotation. They're an interesting game. They're a points-driven team, it feels like. A good shot caller goes for strategy, but maybe needs to work a little bit more on some of the combat stuff from we saw in the last game where they were split out a little too long. So I'm going to see how they handle this now that they're all in the same compound.
All right, the shrink is coming in. A lot of players on the edge forced to go in right now. Envy are getting fired at from their east side. Venerating, ducking, and weaving as much as he can. Looks like not too much damage quite yet, and making a car for it on the western edge of the zone.
All right, now they make their way in. Car forts everywhere. The problem with these car forts, everyone's getting into them, and then the circle's moving away, like, as far as possible. So all these car forts are having to be left behind, which is causing all of these foot fights that we're seeing right now. Pat Cap still locked out. Moody didn't get taken out, so E United was able to secure that position for them, but now they got to go uphill. Valiate and Tempo Storm in a good uphill position as they lock down the rock down and hold out 17. Envious, who's trying to push into them.
There are 2 squads down there. This is going to be a very, very awkward push here. As on the western side, it looks like Envy engaging E United to their north, trying to really punish this push across the field. Venerate actually going across the road himself, trying to get a flank, but meanwhile, Pat Caps taking one out on his own.
That's the Pat Caps we were waiting for as he plays it slow and low. He's going to get that shot. It was a silenced weapon that he used to get the knock, so they may not know where he is. Tony V is out in the open. Pat Caps can get 2 if he wants it. Tony V, though, taking some damage on his own. Here comes Pat Caps on the right slide, going to try to get in behind Tony. Does open fire, goes for the knock, but dies himself.
Another kill, chalked up for Render. They got 2 players in here. They've been able to avoid a lot of the fighting so far, but now is the time that they strike. Jesse Long actually not even engaged with the Render, shooting uphill instead at Valiant, but he does not want to take that fight. Going down, realizing he's only a 2-man, he cannot afford to anger a squad that has a position like that when they're outnumbered.
All right, so here we got some guys inside of the lumber mill. They've got to come out if they don't get the circle, which they do-ish, so they can come out a little bit late. Render did not get that, so they've got to deal with the push in as well. Meanwhile, Soltec inside of the rocks, looking over the hill towards Tempo. Tempo with 3, I believe, stopping the push of Envious.
Yeah, it's very, very chaotic on the northwest side. Render, they have a player down, but instead of going for the revive, Bando here just with the AUG, holding this one angle, trying to punish any movement. He can't get the revive. It's on the first floor. He is essentially a solo player, 1v2 against Envy. Who will move first? This prison, though, on the south side, I'm really liking the spot of Rectifier. They still have 4 up, and they're on a flank of an opposing squad.
Yeah, it's a good spot if you don't have to come out of it aggressively, and they've been fortunate that the circles have sort of allowed them to slow play their way in and then back out of it, theoretically. Now we got Tempo locked in on the rock there, Rectify holding this entire angle, so there's not much you can do. 4 teams left alive, 10 people on the docket. They're happy to let these teams eat each other alive. Render is going to have to come out. Envious keeping an eye on them. Jesse Lal sort of in that position to watch.
Shrink coming in right now. A lot of players will be forced in. Looks like a kill finally coming out, bringing that number down to 9. Tempo Storm have been losing players this entire time. They're now down to only 2, but they're still trying to punish any movement coming in from down that hill. Doing a pretty good job, but now that Tempo Storm has shot, Rectify knows that someone is here. There should be a push coming out here any second.
Rectify's going to see him in just a second. Dre's looting, doesn't look left. He's expecting the threat that he knows, not the one that he's unaware of. As Rectify looks to lock out, they get Zampa. Zampa goes down. Your boy Dre still not sure where they are as he's shooting at Envious. Does get a counter knock on Render, who's trying to get inside the circle as they jump out of their back. But he'll get shot in the back by Rectify, making it 3 teams alive. Envious 1, Render 1, Rectify 4.
This is a very, very clear situation where Rectify have a huge lead. The zone, numbers, everything is on their side, and they've played it great so far. That being said, we're looking right here. Check shooter on the side flank, not shooting quite yet. He has an opportunity here, but he needs to get as many downs as he can off his initial burst. He's the last one left to contest this 1v4.
So he saw them going. He now knows there's 5 alive. He's going to go ahead and guess that it's just...
spotted.
There it is. He's inside the blue. He knows he's got second place secured. Goes for the final knock, but he really wanted to allow Envious to move past him because he knows once they pass him, they're going to get whoever the other guy is, right? Like he survived the push.
Yeah, but that will be a Rectify winning out with that game with 9 kills. They actually played that very, very intelligently. They were just holding this little bit of high on a little ledge, making sure that no one can leave prison, as well as putting a little bit of pressure out to their north. But for the most part, they just let Tempo Storm do a lot of the hard work for them. Meanwhile, Tempo Storm just taking so much damage, getting hit from left and right, losing players all over the place. And Rectify just swoops in for the win, finishing off all the solos and duos that were left.
Absolutely. So second place goes to Envious. Third place goes to Render Esports again, as they find another position inside the circles and do very well. A new ghost in the making, apparently. Your boy Dre, Maluke, Zenpa, and Valiant come in 4th for Tempo Storm. And last but not least, in 5th place, this is going to be Pat Caps and his crew, the God Squad, bringing that home. So, guys and girls, we've got one more match for you tonight. Don't go anywhere. My name's Toppies. I'm joined by Lil Fuzzy Seal at our Eye in the Sky Skyline. And this is the Auzom APL Week 2, Round 3 of North American Premier League action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with even more after these fun videos of things happening on bridges and fields.